Hey everyone, Data here, and welcome to the NHL 25 career simulation of Calgary Flames rookie Dustin Wolf. Dustin Wolf is currently one of the favorites for the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year in the NHL, but his story up until this point certainly hasn't been typical. Despite great numbers as a prospect in the WHL, Wolf was drafted with the fourth to last pick of the 2019 draft by the Flames at 214th overall due to the fact that he was just 6 feet tall. After being drafted, Wolf finished off his WHL career, which saw him post a career 106, 34, and 4 record before beginning his AHL career, which saw him post an even better winning percentage with a 77, 20, and 6 record over parts of 3 seasons. In that time, Wolf was awarded CHL Goalie of the Year, as well as the AHL equivalent of the Vezina, the Jennings twice, and even the Hart Trophy. Oh, and internationally, Wolf has represented the USA at the 2020 and 21 World Junior Under-20 Championships, helping the team to gold in 2021. After all of this, Wolf got his chance to be Calgary's starter for his rookie season in 2024-25, and since then, at time of upload, Wolf has appeared in 33 games with the Flames and has a 19-11-3 record to go along with a .912 save percentage, 2.63 goals against average, and 2 shutouts. Although it's a stacked year for rookies, Wolf is certainly making his case to win the 2025 Calder. Now, the question is, with such a resume already, how does NHL 25 think Wolf's career will play out? That's what we'll find out today as we simulate through his career. And speaking of that sim, a huge thank you goes out to Golden Gamer who completed this sim for us. Drop a thank you for him in the comments, and while you're there, let me know whose career you would like to see simulated next. So with all that said, let's get started. As always, everything in the simulation is completely hands-off, as we'll do nothing but observe how Wolf's career unfolds. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on any career sims or our franchise mode series among our many other videos here on the channel. Leave a like, and let's get this career started. So to begin our simulation, Dustin Wolf is starting off as an 84 overall with medium elite potential and is listed as a starting goalie. Moving into 2024-25, we'll be calling this year number 1 of the simulation, but as you can see here, he's already spent parts of 2 NHL seasons with the Flames, 1 game in 22-23 and 17 appearances in 23-24. For the sake of understanding that year 1 is his actual rookie season, we'll say that he's moving into what would be parts of his 3rd year, but it's still year number 1 for this sim. So here he is, an 84 overall. Here are his attributes moving into his rookie season: the 4.5-star reflexes, 4-star puck control, and 4-star athletic, the high 80s for the angles, breakaway, 5-hole, all of that. Dustin Wolf will also be on the 2nd year of his entry-level contract as he starts here in Calgary, backed up by 82 overall Dan Vladar. And in Wolf's rookie season, he backstopped the Flames to a 29th place finish, unfortunately 3rd last in the NHL. 34, 43, and 5 was their record, as Wolf appeared in 59 games, going 26, 30, and 2. He had an .895 save percentage and a 3.57 goals against average, which wasn't great, but he does grow to an 85 overall. He ended the season injured as well, so maybe that played into it a little bit too. In the offseason, Calgary jumps from 13 to 3 with New Jersey's first. They had lost their first to Montreal, but they're going to pick 3rd thanks to that big lottery win, but they fumble it by taking a high top 6 grinder when there was a medium elite power forward in Porter Martone who went right after. So after a solid rookie season, we'll see what Wolf's growth can be moving into his sophomore year. And there's that growth moving into year number 2 as Dustin Wolf will begin the season as an 88 overall here in Calgary. Whew, how about that? Backed up by a great veteran presence in Jonathan Quick. As an 88 overall, he's still listed as a starting goalie, but now in his attributes, 4.5-star puck skills and athletic go along with the 5-star reflexes. On the last year of his entry-level contract, the Flames do improve in year 2, but not by much, as they finish 37, 42, and 3 to finish 24th in the NHL. Wolf's numbers, well, at least his win numbers do improve, as in 65 appearances, he goes 30, 31, and 2. 3 shutouts, but still a sub-900 save percentage at an .898 and 3.37 goals against average. So you got to give a bit to the defense, but yeah, Wolf didn't look his best in his sophomore year. He's still an 88 overall after year number 2, and in the offseason, the Flames actually draft Jarome Iginla's son, Joe Iginla, so maybe that'll give them a little bit of voodoo for the upcoming seasons. Year number 3, and Dustin Wolf doesn't grow an overall, but he does grow a couple of superstar abilities as he'll be entering 2026 with the Last Stand and No Timer X factors. That's great. Of course, still the starter at an 88 overall, backed up by the veteran Jonathan Quick, who's down to an 81. Still around in 2026-27. You love to see it. Wolf listed as a starting goalie with the 5-star reflexes and 4.5 puck control and athletic. And by the way, also his entry-level contract has expired, so he'll be playing on a 1-year bridge this season at $2.08 million, which I believe should keep him as an RFA moving into next offseason as he continues to try and and prove himself as the guy in Calgary. And that's what he does in 2027 as the Flames just squeak into the postseason, finishing 17th in the NHL with a 38-32-12 record. Wolf ready to make his first NHL postseason appearance. Very exciting as he in 64 appearances goes 27-24-11. Nice winning record. 2 shutouts, a .908 save percentage, and 3.14 goals against average moving into the postseason where the Calgary Flames win the Stanley Cup. Can you believe it? What a road here as the Flames take down the Oilers in the Battle of Alberta in round 1 in 7 games, then the Kraken in 6, the Wild in 6, and in the 2027 Stanley Cup final, they beat the New York Rangers in a 7-game thriller to capture the 2027 Stanley Cup. After missing the postseason the last few years, they make it in 2027 as the last team at 17th place, and they go all the way to win the Stanley Cup. What a story as Dustin Wolf backstops the team going 16-8-1 with 2 shutouts, a .928 save percentage, and 2.45 goals against average over those 26 appearances. Oh my goodness. What a story for the young 26-year-old goaltender, ready for a big contract and now a Stanley Cup champion after just his first career postseason appearance, doing so by just squeaking into the postseason as well. What a story for year number 3. Year number 4, and despite that incredible postseason run, Dustin Wolf does stay in the 88 overall moving into 2027-28. Still backed up by Jonathan Quick at an 80 overall. The veteran does not want to retire after winning a Stanley Cup. No problem with me. 5-star reflexes, 4.5 puck control, and athletic. I believe the attributes are staying pretty much the same at this point. And Dustin Wolf surprisingly does not get his big boy contract after backstopping the team to a Stanley Cup. He gets a 1-year, $9.7 million extension. At least he's getting paid, but he will have the opportunity to walk to unrestricted free agency after this year number 4. Keep that in mind. And not great news for the Flames. The reigning Stanley Cup champs finished 22nd in the NHL in 2028, going 38-38-6. The same number of wins as what got them to the postseason last year, but just too many losses. Over the course of the season, Dustin Wolf went 32-30-2 with 2 shutouts, a .912 save percentage, and 2.97 goals against average over 69 appearances. He remains at an 88 overall, and like I said, may potentially see unrestricted free agency as the Flames refuse to commit to him. And yes, moving into year number 5, Dustin Wolf does go to unrestricted free agency, signing with the Canadian rival, the Vancouver Canucks. After spending parts of 6 seasons with the Calgary Flames, Wolf signs a 6-year contract with Vancouver. He has a full no-move clause for the first 3 years. In the last 3 years, modified no-trade clause 29, 24, and 20 team no-trade list, paying him just under $50 million to be the starter in Vancouver. I'm not sure why Calgary couldn't commit to him, but Dustin Wolf at an 88 overall does grow one more X factor. That's great. He now has 3 superstar abilities, and he'll be backed up by 81 overall Archer Shelovs for this year number 5. All right. In his first year as a Canuck, Dustin Wolf helps the Canucks to a 25th place finish, sadly, as Vancouver goes 37-41-4. Wolf in 60 appearances goes 29-24-3. He had 3 shutouts, a .905 save percentage, and 3.23 goals against average. Not the greatest start for Wolf's career here in Vancouver, as he ends the year as an 88 overall, still starting goalie, the exact elite potential at his age as well, and he knows as a Stanley Cup champion that he could do better. Year number 6 now, and no changes for Wolf here in Vancouver. Still an 88, still 3 X factors, still backed up by 81 overall Archers Shelovs. Attributes looking the same as always, I believe, but the only difference is the Canucks do even worse, as Vancouver finishes second last in the NHL, 31st place, going 26, ouch, 46-10. Smell the Penguins for 21-52-9. Okay. In 55 appearances, Dustin Wolf was injured, so I'm sure it didn't help the Canucks, but in his 55 appearances, Wolf went 18-30-7. 2 shutouts. You know what? A .910 save percentage for a horrible record like that isn't that bad, and a 3.13 goals against average. Ouch. Ending the year injured, Wolf does stay at an 88 overall with his attributes still being nice and high, but this has not been the start that Wolf was hoping for in Vancouver. Year number 7, and now at 29 years of age, Dustin Wolf, for the first time in his career, drops in overall down to an 87. Makes sense after a year like that, but he grows another X factor. Now he has 4 superstar abilities. That's nice. Backed up by 81 overall Vinny, so no more Shelovs over here, but still an 81 overall backup for Dustin Wolf. Listed as an elite goalie now, despite the overall dropping, so that means the rest of the league is getting weaker, okay? 5-star reflexes, 4.5 puck control, and athletic. I think it's like angles, which was like 90, now it's 88, stuff like that. Little changes in the overall. And as I was saying about the X factors, last stand, no-timer, dialed in, and butterfly effect for those 4. In year number 7, the Vancouver Canucks do improve. They finish 500, but not enough to make the postseason, going 38, 38, and 6 to finish 22nd in the league. Wolf appeared in 70 games, a career high, going 34, 29, and 6. He had 4 shutouts, a .915 save percentage, and 2.91 goals against average. Again, really good numbers for being on such a bad team, and he remains at an 87 overall, moving into year number 8. Year number 8, Dustin Wolf, now at 30 years of age, is back up to an 88 overall. That's great. Still backed up by Vinny, who's an 81. All right, so little things like angles back from 88 to 89, little things like that as he's back to an 88 overall. That's great. And the Vancouver Canucks, once again, do improve, but not enough, as, you know, they have an identical record, actually, but their record in the NHL is not enough to make the postseason, going 38, 38, and 6, improving in their placement at 19th in the league, but not enough to make it to the dance. Wolf, once again, appearing in the lion's share of the games, going in 68 appearances, going 30, 29, and 6. 6 shutouts, though, .914 save percentage, and 2.96 goals against average, to remain at an 88 overall, moving into year number 9. Year number 9, 2032-33, Wolf still an 88 overall at 31 years of age. Vinny grows from an 81 to an 82, backing up. That's nice. All the attributes looking the same as they've been for a long time now, no problem. And the Vancouver Canucks continue to struggle as they finish 24th in the NHL in Wolf's now, 4th season with the Canucks, going 33, 39, and 10. Finishing in 24th place. Wolf goes 21, 26, and 10, appearing in 58 games, less than he's been appearing in the last couple of years. 3 shutouts, .918 save percentage, and 2.91 goals against average. Good numbers year after year, but the Canucks cannot put a good team together for their goaltender, as Wolf, moving into the last year of his contract, remains at an 88 overall. Also, shout out to the Canucks, who jumped from 9 to 1 in the draft lottery, and with the first overall pick, take an 83 overall medium elite power forward, so fingers crossed that does something for the forward core. Year number 10 for Dustin Wolf, and he has a new backup goalie now, as this guy Ford, as an 85 backing him up, should provide some more support for the now 32-year-old. Still an 88 overall, still with the 4 superstar abilities, and also on the last year of that 6-year contract he signed in free agency with the Canucks at $8.2 million, 20-team no trade list. Could the Canucks finally make the postseason in his 6th year as a Canuck? No, they cannot, finishing 21st in the league with their best record yet, going 41, 38, and 3, but it was just too strong in the Western Conference, I suppose, as even the Sharks in 17th miss out on the postseason. Just a lot of teams in that same range. The Sharks, the Predators, Utah, Vancouver. The Islanders in 22nd make the playoffs, but Vancouver in 21st on the outside looking in. As Dustin Wolf goes 34, 33, and 1 in 70 appearances. He has 6 shutouts to tie a career high, .909 save percentage, and 3.1 goals against average. Moving into year number 11 as a potential unrestricted free agent, still at an 88 overall, still all the same attributes, and now we wonder where he'll go for 2034-35. In the 2034 offseason, moving into year number 11, Dustin Wolf does indeed move on from Vancouver in free agency as he signs a 3-year contract with the Carolina Hurricanes, paying him $10.325 million per season, just under $31 million, an 8-team no-trade clause as well over the course of that 3-year contract, as he'll be starting as an 87 overall, backed up by an 81 Feldbergs, and he'll be hoping for much more team success in Carolina as he missed the postseason all 6 years with Vancouver. As an 87 overall, still listed as an elite goalie, his attributes are looking like this at 33 years of age. And in his first season as a Hurricane, the Hurricanes finished 28th in the NHL, going 36, 42, and 4. Another lost year for Dustin Wolf, as he has more good numbers, 31, 31, and 4, 2 shutouts, .909 save percentage, and 3.01 goals against average over 68 appearances. But the team in front of him is not good enough. At the end of his 11th season, he's still an 87 overall and has 2 more years on his contract with the Canes. Moving into year number 12, Dustin Wolf at 34 years of age is still an 87 overall, still has 4 superstar abilities, still backed up by Feldbergs, who is now an 82 overall. Attributes looking like this as always, as age is slowly starting to creep up a little bit. Fingers crossed for this season, and the Hurricanes do improve, but it's not enough in a stacked Eastern Conference. As 8 of the top 13 teams in the league are from the East. The Hurricanes in 17th place, going 41, 35, and 6 are on the outside looking in. Even the 14th place Canadians don't make the postseason. As Dustin Wolf has one of the best years of his career, going 36, 28, and 5. 4 shutouts, a .916 save percentage, and 2.68 goals against average over 69 appearances, but still not enough to make the postseason with the team in front of him. Oh my goodness. Thankfully, this year was good enough to win Dustin Wolf the Vezina Trophy, the first Vezina of his career, the first piece of hardware of his NHL career. After being goalie of the year in the CHL, WHL, AHL, in the NHL, he finally wins the Vezina Trophy. What a career for him at 35 years of age, and it's not done yet, as he's still in 87, still has high enough attributes, and still has one more year in his contract with the Canes. Moving into year number 13 as the reigning Vezina champ, Dustin Wolf at 35 years of age is back up to an 88 overall. Nice to see that go back up despite his age. That's awesome. Backed up by Cam Beats, who is a 79 overall. That's not great. Listed as an elite goalie, but now with exact starter potential. So if the performances aren't great, this is where the overall might start dropping a little bit. But still 5-star reflexes and 4.5 puck control and athletic. On the last year of that contract, he signed with the Hurricanes, making him $10.325 million. And the Hurricanes missed the postseason again, just on the outside looking in. Again, a good record of 43, 32, and 7 as they finished 17th place. Again, a team below Dustin Wolf as the Blues finished 19th, make the postseason. So much bad luck for Dustin Wolf's teams here. Oh my goodness. As Dustin goes 31, 27, and 7 with 6 shutouts at now 36 years of age, a .905 save percentage and 3.16 goals against average over 70 appearances. The man is being played out there. My goodness. 87 overall, down from an 88 after this 13th season, and he will once again be in need of a contract. So will he be moving on from the Hurricanes after 3 postseason misses, or does he think that there's a future here after he's won a Vezina with the Canes? Year number 14, and Dustin Wolf is sticking around in Carolina, as now at 36 years of age, he has dropped to an 84 overall, but he's still the starter with the Canes, backed up by Cam Beats, who went from a 79 to an 83, I see. Wolf signs a 1-year extension with Carolina at $8.36 million to continue to be the starter at an 84 overall, now listed as a starting goalie with the starter potential. Reflexes down to 4.5 stars, as the puck control stays at 4.5, and athletic drops to 4 stars. I don't think Wolf's going to be retiring just yet, but with the overall drop, this could be his last season as an NHL starter. And in that year, Dustin Wolf puts the team on his back, and the Hurricanes finally make the postseason. A 9th place finish in the NHL, going 46, 30, and 6, allowing Dustin Wolf to finally return to the postseason for the first time since he won the Stanley Cup back in 2027. 11 years later in 2038, the Canes finish 9th. Let's go. As Wolf in 51 appearances goes 30, 18, and 2. 2 shutouts, .901 save percentage, and 3.21 goals against average as he started sharing the crease with Cam Beats, who might be the Hurricanes' future starter, understandably. Moving into the postseason, possibly for the last time as a starter, and for just the second time in his NHL career, Dustin Wolf is once again a Stanley Cup champion! As the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Lightning in 7 in round 1, sweep the Senators in round 2, take down the Bruins in 7 in the Eastern Conference Final, and then beat the Colorado Avalanche in 6 games of the 2038 Stanley Cup Final, the 4th place Avalanche, to win Dustin Wolf his 2nd Stanley Cup in his 2nd career postseason opportunity. 2 for 2 as a Stanley Cup champion. What a story for Dustin Wolf, who appeared in 18 of those games, going 11-6-1, a .930 save percentage from the now 37-year-old, who also posted a 2.26 goals against average, and can now call himself a 2-time Stanley Cup champion, despite only making the postseason twice. After all of this, Wolf drops to an 83 overall, and now has 4.5-star reflexes and 4-star puck control and athletic, moving into what could be another free agency opportunity for him in the 2038 offseason. Year number 15, and coming off of the Stanley Cup, Dustin Wolf has decided to stick around in Carolina now at 37 years of age. He's dropped to an 82 overall, and now will be backing up Cam Beats, who's an 84. But after that Stanley Cup, I can imagine Wolf is just happy to be in Carolina and wants to stick around for the ride. With fringe starter potential now and 4-star reflexes, puck control, and athletic, it's just another 1-year extension for Wolf, who signs at $4.955 million. And as reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Hurricanes missed the postseason, just like the Flames did way back when, finishing 19th in the NHL, the best team in the East to miss out, sadly, with a 41, 37, and 4 record. Wolf, in his first year as a backup, appears in 27 games, going 13, 9, and 2, has an .899 save percentage and 3.16 goals against average, remaining as an 82 overall, moving into another season in which he might test free agency. Nope, year number 16, and Dustin Wolf is happy in Carolina at 38 years of age. He drops even further now down to an 80 overall, listed as a backup goalie, still with fringe starter potential, 4-star reflexes and athletic, but 3.5-star puck control, as he signs a 1-year extension at $3.065 million to continue being the backup here in Carolina. And look at that, the Hurricanes finally make the postseason. It's the third postseason berth of Wolf's career. 45, 32, and 5 go the Hurricanes, finishing 12th best in a very stacked Eastern Conference as the Devils in 13th just miss out. Wolf actually appeared in more games than you would think, maybe due to injury. He has 30 appearances as the backup, going 15, 9, and 2, 1 shutout, a .908 save percentage, and 2.97 goals against average. Moving into the postseason, at the Hurricanes sadly lose in round 1 as the Flyers sweep through the Canes before losing to the Panthers, who lose to the Maple Leafs, who go on to win the 2040 Stanley Cup. In those 4 games, Dustin Wolf saw 1 appearance as he came in relief, I would think, 2 goals against on 16 shots as he played for 2 periods, 40 minutes there. And now at 39 years of age, at an 80 overall, now a couple years as a backup, he has his couple Stanley Cups. Could this be the end for Dustin Wolf moving into the 2040 offseason? Wolf is back for more in year number 17 as he says, you know what, I still got it. He signs a 1-year deal with the New York Islanders to be their starter. Despite being a 78 overall, the Islanders are putting some trust in Dustin Wolf, backed up by Darling, who's a 77. Wolf, at 39 years of age and 78 overall, is listed as a backup goalie with backup potential. He has 3.5-star reflexes, puck control, and athletic, but he says, I just want 1 more year as a starter, and the Isles are going to give it to him at 1 year, $1.62 million. Let's do it. But to no one's surprise, of course, this is very consistent with his career. The Islanders finished not 15th, not 16th, not 18th, but again 17th in the NHL, just on the outside looking in with a winning record, but the last team to be left on the outside. 36, 31, and 15, 17th best in the league. Great year from Dustin Wolf, but more heartbreak to not make the postseason. In those 59 appearances, Dustin Wolf was injured, so he lost a few games, but he still went 26, 23, and 9. 3 shutouts at the age of 39, now the age of 40, 910 save percentage, and 2.94 goals against average, as he remains as a 78 overall, and will head into the 2041 offseason dealing with an injury and trying to figure out if he still wants to come back for more. And in the 2041 offseason, Dustin Wolf does indeed decide to call it a career at 40 years of age. After 1,030 games played in 2 Stanley Cups, Dustin Wolf says, I'm ready to call it. 471 wins in his career, 438 losses, 82 overtime or shootout losses, 49 shutouts, a .908 save percentage, and 3.08 goals against average. Also 18 assists. Shout out to him, registering 18 points over his career. Let's start checking out the numbers now as he retires as a 78 overall. Still could have done it, 3.5-star reflexes, puck control, and athletic. Would there have been a team that wanted him to be their backup maybe? I don't know if he would have been some NHL time. He was dealing with that injury. I think it was a good time to call it a career for Dustin Wolf. As we look at some of the career numbers right here, finishing off with the Islanders. If we sort by wins, we can see that Wolf's winningest season in the NHL came when he won his one and only Vezina in 2035-36 with the Hurricanes, going 36, 28, and 5 with those 4 shutouts. If we look a little bit further, we can see that he had over 33,000 shots against. He allowed just over 3,000 goals. He played over 58,700 minutes in the National Hockey League. And in the postseason, there's really not much to say. He made the NHL postseason twice as a starter, 3 times in total if you really count that 2040 run when he was a backup. But really as a starter, he made 2 postseasons and won 2 Stanley Cups. As in 45 appearances, he went 27, 14, and 2, had 2 shutouts, a .929 save percentage, and 2.38 goals against average. Just incredible how he just became a whole different beast when it was playoff time. If you could just get him to the playoffs, put a team on the ice that could get Dustin Wolf to the playoffs, you were going to win a Stanley Cup. Sadly, his teams only did that 2 out of 17 times, or maybe 3 if you count that last one. As we said, 2-time Stanley Cup champion and also the Vezina Trophy. Definitely a great career to be proud of for Dustin Wolf. And if we think about any franchise records here in the 2041 universe, if we go to Vancouver and look at their franchise records, Dustin Wolf holds the record for most saves in a game as he had 55 in 2028. And speaking of records, as I always like to do, if you would take Dustin Wolf's 2041 numbers and compare them to the real world 2025 record books, of course, things will change over the next decade and a half, but just for an idea of where he would stack up in all time compared to today's numbers, you might not have noticed it, but his 1,030 games played as a goalie would place him 4th all time in NHL history, behind only Brodeur, Fleury, and Luongo, and ahead even of Patrick Waugh by 1 game. How about that? His 471 wins would also put him 6th all-time behind Ed Belfour and ahead of King Henrik Lundqvist. His 49 shutouts would tie him for 33rd all-time with Carey Price, ahead of Ken Dryden and behind Chris Osgood. And maybe one other stat to look at would be that he played over 58,700 minutes in the NHL, which would end up putting him 5th all-time behind Roberto Luongo and ahead of Terry Sawchuk. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the incredible career of Dustin Wolf. You never know how things might go for a goalie in EA land, but this was a very successful sim despite the postseason difficulties. So breaking it all down, starting off as a 7th round pick, 214th overall in 2019. He spent some time in the AHL, the Wranglers, the Heat, 141 games played, going 97, 32, and 9 with some very impressive numbers. He makes his break into the NHL, playing parts of 6 seasons with the Calgary Flames, 4 full years as the starter, 275 appearances in Calgary, going 123, 122, and 18, 3.24 goals against average, and a 904 save percentage with 7 shutouts, 1 postseason berth, which resulted in a Stanley Cup championship in those 26 games, going 16, 8, and 1. Probably should have won the Conn Smythe with a 2.45 goals against average and a 929 save percentage to go along with 2 shutouts. After those parts of 6 seasons, he signs in Vancouver for a 6-year deal in free agency, 381 games played as a Canuck, going 166, 171, and 33. Despite the losing record, 3.06 goals against average and a 913 save percentage to go along with 24 shutouts, so it was more the team in front of him. After that, Wolf goes to Carolina, where he plays a few different contracts with the Hurricanes, appearing in 315 games over 6 seasons as well, going 156, 122, and 22 with a 3.01 goals against average, 904 save percentage, and 15 shutouts. Again, just 1 postseason berth, but in it, a Stanley Cup champion, going 11, 6, and 1 in 19 appearances, 2.29 goals against average, and a 930 save percentage with no shutouts, to be 2 for 2 as a Stanley Cup champion when in the postseason as a starting goaltender. After that, as a 78 overall, he says 1 more year. The Islanders give him the starting role, and he appears in 59 games on Long Island, going 26, 23, and 9 with a 2.94 goals against average, 910 save percentage, and 3 shutouts at 39, then 40 years of age. So parts of 6 years in Calgary, 6 in Vancouver, 6 in Carolina, and 1 in New York give him a total of 1,030 games played in NHL history, the 4th most all-time, 471 wins, which would be the 6th most all-time when comparing to 2025 records, 438 losses, 82 overtime or shootout losses with a career 3.08 goals against average, a 909 save percentage, and 49 shutouts. In the postseason, like I said, 2 for 2 in 45 appearances, 2 cups, going 27, 14, and 2, 2.38 goals against average, 929 save percentage, and 2 shutouts, as his honors include the 2036 Vezina, 2 Stanley Cups, 2027 and 2038, and like I said, 4th all-time in games played as a goalie and 6th all-time in wins, as his career started in April of 2023 and went all the way to his retirement in 2041, making over $112.5 million in that time. For, again, like I said, despite all the postseason difficulty, one of the more successful sims we've done in recent memory. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and of course, like I said, down in the comments, let me know whose career you would like to see simulated next. Let me know your favorite part of this sim, and of course, leave a big thank you for Golden Gamer, who did this simulation. Thank you to him, and looking forward to many more here on the channel. Subscribe to not miss out on any of them. Hit the bell to be notified when videos come your way, when live streams come your way, and all of our franchise modes, career sims, and much more going on here on the channel. So if you enjoyed this, you'll enjoy everything else that we do. Take a second, check out the channel. We would love to have you join the team. Flames fans, I hope Dustin Wolf stays longer in Calgary, but in general, if you could hope for a career like this from Dustin Wolf, I think you'd be in a very good spot. What numbers from a 7th round pick, and we'll be looking forward to seeing how his career unfolds, and as always, coming back to this video in a few years' time and seeing what similarities we might find. So thanks again for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you once again in the next one.